Ava.
I'm Cash.
I'm older.
I'm cooler.
Want to be part of our HurriKids family? Subscribe and turn on those post notifications to get notified every time we post a new video. Now on to the video.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be reading to you these two books. Let's just get right on into it. Now the first book we are going to read is this one. Now, because of technical difficulties, I am going to read a page and then Cash is going to read a page. And I'm going to read the other book. I'm not saying why. There were just some technical difficulties. Okay.
Once upon a time, a child took a book from a shelf and started to read.
He read that the blue whale is a mammal of gigantic size and strength. It is the largest living creature on our planet.
A blue whale can measure up to 100. That is the same length as a truck, a digger, a boat, a bicycle, a motorcycle, a van, and a tractor, all lined up. A blue whale's heart is the largest of any animal. It is
As big as a small car.
With weighs about
1,300 pounds.
That's exciting. That's like how much a car weighs.
No. Blue whales are gray, but they look bright blue underwater, which is how they got their name. Their skin color ranges from dark to light gray, and it is mottled like marble. Well, that was a weird word. It feels smooth, rubbery, and slippery to the touch. A blue whale's underbelly sometimes appears yellowish white. This happens when microorganisms called diatoms attach themselves to it. My science teacher would be proud. Every blue whale has unique markings similar to our fingerprints. Scientists use these along with the shape of the dorsal fin to identify individual whales. I knew what everything meant. Oh, yes. Fifth grade is helping.
That's not a damage.
Yes, I know. I look 5. It's a shocker to some of you that I'm in 5th grade. My friends can testify.
An average blue whale weighs around 106 tons. 1 ton is 1,500 pounds.
I thought a ton was 2,000 pounds. I don't know. Keep reading.
Tons are about the same as a heap. Oh, a hippopotamus.
A heap of 55 hippopotami. Oh my God.
Females grow bigger and heavier than males because this is the female carries.
Because the female cares for her baby on her own and needs to be big enough to produce enough milk to feed it. Basically read that. No land animal can be as big as a blue whale because no bone structure can be strong enough to support such colossal weight out of the water. The salt in seawater helps keep these huge whales buoyant. Seawater gives buoyancy to all other creatures too, like hippopotami and humans.
A blue whale's eye is about 6 inches wide and has no tear glands or eyelashes. It is a very small considering the size of its body.
Mine is about 2 centimeters wide.
Have poor eyesight and poor sense of smell and taste, but their hearing is excellent and their skin is highly sensitive.
The top of a blue whale's mouth is lined with 300 to 400 baleen plates, which are made up of black fingernail-like material. A blue whale's tongue weighs 3 tons, and its mouth is so big that 50 people can stand inside it. Fortunately, blue whales don't eat people.
So for dogs,
These are the baleen plates.
so they don't eat. It's like the size of a megalodon.
Yep. Go.
Blue whales eat mostly krill and tiny shrimp-like creatures. During the summer months, they eat about 30 35 million krill each day.
I thought that was for the whole summer.
Same.
Keep reading.
You know how many krill I can eat in a day? About 3.
You don't even eat krill.
I know, but I'm just saying. 35 million krill each day, which is about 4 tons of food. But since they have narrow throats, they can swallow only a grapefruit-sized amount at one time. Blue whales eat different species of krill depending on the ocean in which they live.
Oh, look, I have 2 things to read. To eat, the blue whale takes a giant gulp of seawater and krill. It takes so much water into its mouth that the ventral pleats below its jaw and belly expand like a huge accordion. When the blue whale is ready to swallow, it pushes all of the seawater back to the back of its mouth with its tongue through its bristly baleen plates. These plates catch the krill for the whale to swallow. Because krill are bright orange, so too is a whale's poo. Ew, I didn't need to know that. Ew! I'm good. I don't think Partner. Baby blue whales don't eat krill. They drink their mother's milk. A baby blue whale is called a calf, and its mother a cow. The calf is in its mother's womb for almost a year and is about 20 feet long when it is born. It drinks nearly 50 gallons of its mother's milk every day and can gain as much as 9 pounds an hour. By 8 months, the calf will start to feed itself by eating krill.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count it. Blue whales have approximately the same lifespan as that of humans today. Scientists are able to determine a whale's age by tracking it from birth. Using photographic identification, scientists used to identify a blue whale approximate age by using waxy ear plug found inside its ear canal, just as we can tell the age of a tree by counting the rings on its trunk. Scientists could figure out the age of a whale by the whole bands of wax that has built up over time. This method could only be used on captured whales. However, so it is eventually abandoned as unethical as well as unrealable. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Should I read the rest of that? Yeah. Read the book, lady. Blue whales aren't able to breathe underwater, but they can hold their breath for up to 30 minutes, depending on their activity. I find that funny. For up to 30 minutes. Because that's how long this video is going to be before I edit it down. Lucky me. Sorry, I just got this one. The salt of editing. I'm going to not like this later. But anyway, depending on their activity, when they come up to the surface for air, blue whales exhale through 2 nostril-like blowholes, blowing air as high as 32 feet, the height of 9 7-year-old boys. A single breath could inflate 2,000 balloons. The sound of a blue whale blowing its thunderous and can be heard up to several miles away. Blue whales are graceful, streamlined swimmers. Each side of its tail is called a fluke, and together these 2 flukes measure about 18 feet. The wingspan of a small plane. Flukes move up and down like a bird's wings, not side to side like a fish's tail. Blue whales also have a small triangular dorsal fin on the top of their backs and 2 short tapered flippers. Together, these help them to steer. I'm gonna read this one. Taking over your book. I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. So. A blue whale's ears are located near its eyes and are tiny little holes. Despite this, blue whales have excellent hearing. This is important because they have to be able to hear each other in the ocean across great distances. Their song is louder than a jet engine and can be heard up to 1,000 miles away. They are one of the loudest animals in the world, but the frequency of their sound is too low for humans to hear it without the use of equipment.
The blue whale's song resembles a four-horn and vibrates through the water with pulses, moans, and rumbles. Sound is important to blue whales for both communication and navigation. It guides them through the ocean towards food and helps them find a mate. However, the noise coming from the ships and other man-made vessels is often so loud that it interferes with marine life and can even confuse a mammal as large and loud as the blue whale. Blue whales have been found in all the oceans of the world. There are 3 subspecies of blue whale: the pygmy blue whale, the northern hemisphere blue whale, and the Antarctic blue whale. Our mom is over there dabbing. She's going,
Mom, dabs are dead.
Mom, dabs are dead. Stop.
Why'd you just dab?
Northern hemisphere blue whale and the Antarctic blue whale. Most blue whales feed on krill during the summer months and then migrate to warmer areas near the equator for the winter, where pregnant females give birth. Ew, I didn't need to know that. Blue whales sleep by taking very short naps while slowly swimming close to the ocean's surface. This is called logging. They sleep in this way because they have to remember to open up their blowhole in order to breathe. The blue whales can never completely lose consciousness, not even in sleep. Otherwise, they will drown. Unlike blue whales, people can drift into sleep without having to remember to breathe and keep themselves afloat. So we can fall asleep over a favorite book and begin to dream.
That book looks familiar.
I know that book does kind of look familiar. The end of this book. Send him back where he came from.
I totally did just throw out the ground.
Let's just send him back to where he... That was a close goal. He almost fell off the edge of the table. Okay, so now I'm going to read this book.
Yeah.
The Polar Bear. I've actually read this book like twice. Once upon a time, a child took a book from the shelf and started to read. Oh my gosh, that's the same thing from this one. She read that the polar bear is also called a sea bear and that this huge marine mammal spends most of its life on the ice and snow of the frozen Arctic Ocean. In the spring and autumn, the flexible sea ice can bend and give way under the polar bear's colossal weight. In the summer, there is virtually no ice to hunt across. In winter, the polar bear walks for miles over solid expanses of ice in search of food.
It's a girl reading a book.
Polar bears live at the northern point of the Earth in the Arctic regions of the United States, Alaska, Canada, Greenland, Norway, and Russia. In summer, the Arctic sun never sets. In winter, the sun never rises, and the only light is from the moon, stars, and green glow of the northern lights. Winter temperatures are so low that breath freezes instantly. Harsh winds, blinding snowstorms, and treacherous ice form the environment in which polar bears live for many months. Yet remarkably, they maintain the same body temperature as our own. Big with heavy limbs that have 2 layers of fur, a tough hide, and a thick layer of fat under the skin. What does Raylan not understand about Don't Call Us? During a video.
Yeah, darn video, Raylan.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, just ignore that part of it.
Did you hang up?
Yes, I did.
I don't trust you.
I did.
I don't
Next
trust
thing you know,
Raylan. Raylan.
Next thing you know, a big ooga booga comes out of the phone.
Raylan, if you're watching us, don't call us from Monday to Saturday from 10 to 11. Don't do it. Don't even think about it.
Unless I call you.
Which he won't. Because if he does, I don't know.
You'll get the hand.
Okay, just wanted to point that out. Their booty. Polar bears evolved to have long necks so they can keep their heads above water while swimming and reach into holes in the ice for seals. Male polar bears have stronger necks than females for fighting other bears. Males also have larger bodies, longer teeth, and broader heads. Polar bears have huge paws that turn slightly inward. These can be up to 13 inches long, the size of a large dinner plate. While their paws are good for digging and swimming, they also act like snowshoes, spreading out the bear's weight as it moves across deep snow and fragile ice. Should the sea ice begin to bend, a polar bear will crawl on its tummy. Each paw has 5 sharp, strong claws and foot pads that are covered with small bumps, much like the surface of a basketball. These claws and pads allow for a strong grip on the ice. Cash, can you hand me the water? Yeah. Cash drank off of this, which is why I'm taking the cap off. Wait, did you backwash?
I didn't.
Oh my god.
If you backwash your weird. Sure, I used to do it when I was 4. Oh god, probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah, Ava drank my bathwater.
We do have the same DNA.
I enjoyed it.
I don't like you that much.
I enjoyed watching.
I couldn't survive without you, but I don't like you that much.
Actually, you could survive with them. You do it every day.
Let me just be honest. When wet, polar bears shake water and ice out of their fur just like dogs. The polar bear's fur has 2 layers, a soft, woolly undercoat and a top layer of water-repellent hairs that are oily, stiff, shiny, see-through, and hollow. Ooh, hollow, I love reflecting rainbows. I know that is not what it meant, but simply an illogical would be proud. A polar bear looks white in bright sunlight, but its coat is really yellow or gray. And its skin is black. Wait, what? I didn't think his skin was black. Oh, well, that's probably why his nose is black. Polar bears are about the same length as 2 7-year-old children, top to toe. Males can be 9 feet long, while females are usually no more than 8 feet. Well, that's not long at all.
That just me.
I'm just 4 feet tall.
Is that just me or is that disturbing?
It is kind of disturbing. An adult male might weigh 1,000 pounds, which is around. I've never met a human that weighs 1,000 pounds. Wait, no, it's talking about a polar bear. Okay.
Great job.
Which is around the same weight as 27-year-olds. Adult females typically weigh half that, so 500 pounds. Unless they are pregnant, then they can weigh as much as a male. A polar bear's eyesight is similar to our own, but their eyes have an extra layer that works like a pair of built-in sunglasses. This layer protects their eyes from strong Arctic light and helps them to keep their eyes open underwater. A polar bear's hearing is also similar to our own, but its sense of smell is its strongest sense. Is extraordinary. A bear can smell seals from several miles away and relies on scent to find a mate, detect danger, and locate its cubs. When polar bears stand up on their hind legs, it's so they can smell the air even better. Sniff, sniff. In the wild, adult bears are usually... In the wild, adult bears are usually live for 20 to 25 years. Solitary creatures, they spend a lot of time alone. Their main reason for being with others are mating reason. Cubs are feeding upon large food sources, such as beached whale, sargassus. In zoos, in zoos, somebody just coughed over there. I don't know. It was disgusting.
Coughed at a loogie.
In zoos, where polar bears aren't subject to harsh weather conditions and don't work to find food, they can live into their 40s, just as we can know the age of a tree from counting the rings inside its trunk. Yes, we know. We read the other book. The rings inside a polar bear's tooth indicate how long it's been alive. I think these are by the same company, just so you know. Oh, you got scratched.
Gotta cover this one up. Now is he spitting loogies? Is he spitting loogies onto our window?
I just scratched your face. The best time for polar bears to hunt is in the late spring when the ice starts to melt and seals can be reached more easily through the thinner ice. The polar bear's main food is the ringed seal, but it also eats birded harp and hooded seals, along with the sargassus of beluga whales. walruses, narwhals, and bowhead whales. Finding food can be difficult, but polar bears don't have to eat every day. A single adult seal can satisfy a bear for up to 11 days. Only when summer arrives and the seals move out into the open water do polar bears largely lose their food supply. Then a bear might not eat for 3 long months as it waits for the sea ice to form again.
I can't even eat without like maybe 8 hours.
I couldn't eat for well, I mean, you don't have to eat for 3 weeks. Here, teach you something. 3 is your main survival number. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. There, I just taught you something. Polar bears have 3 ways of hunting. The most common is waiting by a roller at the edge of the ice for a seal to surface. Then the bear will grab the seal with its teeth and pull it onto the ice. Another is sneaking up on the seal that is already on the ice and then running at full speed to catch it. A polar bear can run faster than the fastest human, but only for a few seconds. Finally, if a polar bear smells a seal hiding just below the ice in a berthing layer, it will rise up on its hind legs before crashing down through the ice for it.
Hey,
No, the bear died! No, the bear died!
No, that's him killing. Oh God, no, you shouldn't say that word.
Yes, no, look, the bear.
No, he didn't die. He killed.
Seals are wary creatures and faster swimmers than polar bears, so once out in the open water, they are difficult to catch. Polar bears kill only 1 of every 20 seals they hunt. To survive, a polar bear needs to eat around 40 ringed seals a year. Bears always eat the fat and skin first, since those provide the most energy. They also get their water from the seal's fat, since sea ice is too salty to drink. You know what? I will drink that. I don't want to be drinking salt water.
Yeah, he just he just murder mystery someone. He just murder mystery someone.
Anyway, a polar bear's face is usually stained with blood after eating, but since bears are fussy about cleanliness, they always wash when they have finished. A bear will either wash its paws and nose in a nearby pool or roll around on the ice, rubbing its paws and face in the snow. Polar bears like to roam on sea ice where there are lots of water channels, cracks, and pools, as these make the seals easier to catch. Throughout the year, the bear will stay within an area of ice that is usually hundreds of miles across that is called its home range. Here, ice constantly moves, breaking and shifting with the sea. These sheets of floating ice are called ice floes. As ice floes break apart, they can move quickly, carrying a bear far from its home range. But since adult bears have an excellent sense of direction and are strong, long-distance swimmers, they are able to find their way at home. Their fat and the hollow hairs of their coat can help them to float. Their rounded front paws give them a powerful doggy paddle, and their back legs help them to steer. Polar bears can hold their breath underwater for around 2 minutes. In the spring, during mating season, a male will follow the scent of a female until he finds her. The bears will then mate, after which the male will often have savage battles with other males to keep her. I see you.
Hi.
Our mother is right there.
Come say
No, I'm just kidding.
Come say hi to the camera.
I'm not exactly camera ready.
Here, just
I'll do a hand.
hi.
I'm like, I spend 5 days a week on camera.
Oh my god. I was like, I hear the garage door opening and then I saw you. I'm like, I see you. That's our beautiful mother.
Not right now.
Hey.
But when I put on the war paint, I hold it down and get back to your video.
After which the male will often have to savage battles with other males to keep her. After 2 weeks, the male polar bear will depart, scared from the bloody fighting. After mating in the spring, a female will only finally become pregnant in the autumn if she has enough stored fat to support a pregnancy. She therefore will spend all spring and summer eating. If she is underweight in the autumn, then she won't become pregnant and will continue to hunt throughout the winter. I couldn't get through that sentence. I don't even know. Female polar bears dig birthing dens in sloping snow or peat banks to provide a warm, sheltered place for their cubs. Once inside, the female won't eat for many months. Her cubs, usually born in pairs in December, will stay with her in the den until spring. At birth, cubs are pink, the size of a guinea pig, and covered in soft, fine fur. Their eyes remain tightly closed for their first month. Bear cubs feed on their mother's rich, fatty milk and gain weight quickly after 3 months. When they are strong enough the family will travel to the sea ice so the mother can hunt for food. Cubs spend a lot of time playing, chasing, wrestling, and sliding down small hills. They also watch and copy their mother, who trains them to lie still while she hunts. They sometimes become boisterous all the time and can scare the prey away. Cubs leave their mother after 3 years, but have yet to become good hunters, so they have to rely on scavenging until their skills improve. Polar bears do not hibernate. They like to sleep, though, and can sleep almost anywhere at any time. Like humans, polar bears sleep in different positions. On warm days, they might stretch out on their back with their feet in the air or lie down on their stomach. In cold, stormy days, they curl up with a paw over their snout for warmth, letting the snow cover them like a blanket. Most bears sleep a lot when there isn't much food or during bad weather. In areas where the ice melts completely in the summer, a polar bear may spend nearly half its time asleep. Since it's hard to find food without sea ice, it makes sense to save energy and rest. Just like polar bears, people also curl up into cozy places, perhaps to fall asleep over a favorite book and begin to dream. Wow, that book looks awfully familiar. That's a cub. That's a cub. It's a cub. And guess what? Dramatic. Hi! The end!
No.
Don't hit the camera. That almost hit the camera. Sorry.
This way it's gonna be an apple.
No. Yes. Okay. Oh, I just hit you in the tooth. Gosh, look at the camera. Gosh. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. And if you want to see more of our content, click over here. We love you guys so much. Bye!